Here with more insight, former Deputy Assistant to President George W. Bush, Brad Blakeman. Before he was at the White House, he was down in Florida. This has got to feel like deja vu all over again.
I have the shakes just watching what's going on down there. But it's very typical of what happened when we were down there.
Yeah.
You have people protesting outside. It's really a three-pronged effort. One is the recount itself, if there is one, and I'm sure there will be a mechanical. The other is fighting in the courts, if necessary.
We've already
seen that. And the other is PR. Although voting has ended, the campaign is not until there's a definitive winner.
Interestingly enough, these guys now on both sides, the Democrats and the Republicans in Florida, are stealing some of the tactics you used back in 2000. This was a sign from 2000.
Yep, this was signed 2000. Although I must say, Joe Lieberman is a friend. We become friends after this. But what we wanted to do is we wanted to take the recount to farce, because we needed to show that this was a rigged deal in 2000 and that they were trying to actually steal the election. And we're running into the same problems today as we did then.
Does it feel the same way now?
Yeah, it is. Lack of transparency, not letting people come in from the campaigns to witness. All of a sudden, ballots appear from nowhere. Not getting accurate counts, and having the court step in and
ballots being mixed in. These are live pictures now as these protests continue. One of the things that was pretty interesting, we've seen Rick Scott out fighting, being extraordinarily vocal in his press conferences, a la George W. Bush and your team. Ron DeSantis, who is ahead in the vote count, though, has gone to ground. The guy, you don't see him. This is somebody who loved being on every possible television show he could, and now you can't even get a hold of him.
Right, and I think he's letting Scott be the face of this recount, exactly for the reason you stated, because Scott's got more to lose now in the recount than DeSantis looks like. And then you have Nelson, who can't be found either, who's never shy to the media, and he's pulling a Gore. He's letting others fight his battle. I don't think it's a smart strategy. I think if you really want to win, you got to show it every day, and you have to be up on what's going on and on top of it, not letting others speak for you.
Andrew Gillum has a press conference later today, obviously coverage here as that happens from our reporters down on the ground. Our reporter down there, Doug McElway, was talking about these crowds getting pretty rowdy in a way that really didn't happen in 2000. You know, there were protests, but you guys ate a Joe Stone crab afterwards.
Right, exactly. It was more theater than anything else. As a matter of fact, Democrats didn't show up. Republicans did things. We took things out of their playbook. We assumed that they would show up en masse. They really never did. And Republicans did civil disobedience, something that we were not known for, but very effective.
Predictions.
My prediction is the numbers just aren't there historically for a recount of this magnitude, I'm talking about in vote, to have an overturning of the election. Remember, Bush was only ahead by 537 votes, and they couldn't manage to overturn that.
There is this feeling among Republicans that somehow in Broward County or Palm Beach, they are going to back up semis of newly found ballots, and suddenly it's going to tip the scales of the election. Is that more stoking the fire of these crowds than it is realistic?
It's not realistic because, you know, the net they have to have means that they have to have 50 or 60,000 votes materialize. In the macro, it's not going to. It should not happen. If it does happen, then there's something terribly wrong.
If it does happen, they may call you down to come back.
You're ready.
Well, you know, as we said earlier, it's a lot nicer to have this happening in Florida than it is in Montana.
No question about it. Hawaii would be nice.
Hawaii would be nice. They seem to have this problem though in Florida. Is there something about Florida? You know, we heard in 2000, never again. Allegedly, they learned the lessons.
Yeah, it's incompetence. I'll tell you, out of 67 counties in Florida, why does it always come down to Broward and Palm Beach County? And why can't it be on Republican votes that they screw up? It seems always the same problem in the same jurisdictions.
Well, I mean, that goes back all the way to, what was it, 1960, when old man Kennedy was quoted as saying, I'm not going to pay for a landslide, don't buy any more votes than you absolutely need. As we're watching these pictures here, one of the big question marks has been this intermixing of ballots and these reports that ballots that were deemed valid and votes that were provisional and questioned had been intermixed. Once they've been intermixed, you can't unmix them.
No, but that's the problem, is you have either fraud or incompetence. Neither one is
or
good.
willful incompetence that turns into fraud.
But the election commissioner in Broward County has already been rebuked in prior elections for destroying ballots, misprinting ballots. And we know in this election cycle she's failed in reporting. There's something terribly wrong, and it's up to whoever the governor turns out to be and the U.S. senator to get it right.
Well, and to the point in terms of about the election supervisor down there, she held a press conference in which answers were very difficult to come by. We'll see if there's another one in the coming days. Brad, thank you.
Pleasure.
Thank you very much. Good to see you.